Hey, Maggie.
What, Dad?
What's Steve from Minecraft's favorite sport?
What? I don't know.
Boxing.
Daddy.
That's so funny, Daddy.
So funny, Dad.
Engage in a family gaming podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Engage, a family gaming podcast. This is episode 123, and I'm your host, Jenna Duetzmann. This is the official video game and board game podcast for EngageFamilyGaming.com. EFG is a website where parents like myself and my co-hosts come together to give parents and families the information they need to get their family game on. This week is a very special week. We are talking about video games. Specifically, we're going to be talking about the results of last week's exciting Nintendo Direct. And I am joined by, as usual, my lovely wife, Jenna.
Hello, everybody.
And this time we're trying something new. We actually have two of the biggest Nintendo fans in the house here joining us, and that would be our youngest son, Jacob.
Me.
And our oldest son, Evan.
Hello.
So, this is obviously going to be a format we have not tried before, with the exception of a few ride-alongs. So, bear with us. And, yeah, let's try it. So, before we get too much further into the podcast, I would like to take a moment to thank you for listening. We hope the games you've been playing have been great. Ours have been awesome. We played a lot of good stuff, but we're going to forego going around the horn this week because there is a lot of crazy news. Now, last week, at the end of the show, I did mention that we were going to be talking about video game violence. We were finally going to have that debate. We decided afterwards that we were going to try and get a guest on. Specifically, we were going to try and get the good doctor, my BFF, Dr. Rachel Coward, on. But schedules didn't work out. And being that that is a topic that will be probably in the news for a while, we thought that we had a little bit of time. Also, Nintendo dropped an elbow drop of crazy news on us last Thursday. So we thought, why not just roll with it? Right, Jen?
Yes.
So, this is what we're going to do. There is an article on EngageFamilyGaming.com where I go over some of the announcements that were made. We are going to go through them kind of one by one. I will say what they are, and then we're actually going to get some reactions from myself, a obnoxious fan, the mom perspective from Jenna, and we're going to hear two kids actually talk about what they are interested in, and I think that's got the potential to be pretty interesting. And if it works, then we probably will do it a lot more often. So, please reach out to us with your comments, your concerns, your ideas, because we want to know whether or not this works. So, where do you want to start? Right at the top?
Yeah.
With the 3DS stuff?
Absolutely.
Fair enough. Let's do it. So, the Nintendo Direct itself was about a half hour long. It opened with a handful of 3DS announcements. And what's super interesting is that they made a bunch of 3DS announcements not 2 weeks after we had a whole podcast where we talked about how the 3DS is not dead. They actually announced games that are coming out into 2019.
Yes, they did.
Which is pretty impressive. So, let's go from here. The first one they announced is WarioWare Gold. This is it's a series of micro games. This is, I guess, the best way to describe this is an arcade game where you don't play as Wario, you kind of are yourself, and you are presented with a series of micro games that all have very small time limits, and the idea is you need to accomplish whatever the task is on the screen using whatever control method you think might be appropriate. The key is it doesn't really tell you what control method you're supposed to use. You're supposed to just figure it out from context, and you're scored based on how many of them you can complete.
Yeah, it looks like you can tilt the screen, you can use controls, you can do various things to actually complete the goal, but they don't tell you how to do it. So it's a timing game, looks like.
So they don't really give you any context. They don't
Right.
tell you what to do. Guys, what do you think?
I think it looks amazing.
I think it's awesome.
You're excited about this?
Yes,
Why?
Why?
because it's amazing.
You got to give us more detail than that, buddy.
What did you like about it that you saw, Evan?
I just am excited for it because Mom thinks it's disgusting, and I like things that Mom thinks is disgusting.
Okay, Jake, why did Mom think it was disgusting?
Because there was booger picking.
There were at least 2 games that I saw that had boogers in it, which, I mean, they're boys. I guess it makes sense, but yuck.
So there is a certain sense of humor in this game. It's juvenile, but not crass.
Okay.
Right? Definitely, like an episode. This is if you're a '90s kid, you'll remember Ren and Stimpy. It's Ren and Stimpy. It's gross.
What's that?
It's a cartoon.
It's a cartoon that's before your time. Now, do you feel old?
So,
anyway.
Yeah, definitely I feel old. So it's a little gross, but nothing super bad. This is one of those you're gonna have to watch the trailer. Did they say when this was coming out? No, they didn't. They just said it's coming out this year. So that is WarioWare Gold. And it says there have been various other WarioWare games in the past. This is a combination of all of those games. They're basically kind of putting them all together. My only complaint is I have no idea why they didn't put this on the Switch. But it's because they have, like 100-something million 3DSs on the market, so they want to kind of touch those. So the next game I have, outside of the fact that it was announced previously, I don't know what this game is. It's called Dylan's Dead Heat Breakers. It is they described it as a tower defense combat racer. I really don't know what it is. It looked to me like a cross between like Star Fox, Twisted Metal, and Mad Max.
What's Twisted Metal?
Twisted Metal is a car combat game where you drove cars around and you tried to blow up other cars. It was on the PlayStation and the PlayStation 2. They're not super appropriate for children, but that's what this felt like to me. So it is an action tower defense game for your Mii character.
And your friends' Mii's can join in and join your team and play with you as gunners the way they described it.
But these were... your Mii is just hanging out with these anthropomorphic animals?
Yes, in the tower.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it turned into one of them.
Okay, well then I
So are you
missed
guys
that.
excited about it?
No,
Not really?
Do you want to see more?
I have one thing that I want to say
What?
about it. Huh?
Yeah, all right.
Huh. Yeah, because here's the deal, guys. The demo's going to be available on May 10th, so you can demo the game and see if you like it or not. And then the full game comes out May 24th.
So we'll download the demo on May 10th. The demo's free, so we'll try that.
Oh, I have the date for WarioWare Gold, by the way. It's August 3rd.
Okay, August 3rd. So we got some time. We'll find out more.
The thing about this game...
Which? Dylan's...
Yeah.
Dylan's Dead Heat
The thing
Breakers?
about it is that, the Mii character thing they haven't really used it in a while, so reusing the Mii's I find kind of uninteresting because I've played so many games where I use my Mii in it already.
And then you kind of forgot about it for a while.
Yeah.
So you're not excited about this one. All right. Next up. How about the next one? Are you guys excited about this? It is Mario and Luigi, Bowser's Inside Story. And it has a Bowser Jr. story that goes with it as well. So it's kind of 2 games in one.
So, specifically, Bowser Inside Story is a remake of a game by the same title that was released on the 2DS the regular DS back in 2009. So, plenty of time has passed, and this is a game that's kind of like, Inner Space. I know. What's Inner Space? It's a movie from a long time ago where people shrink and go into a dude's body. The difference is you're inside Bowser as opposed to a man, and it's a bit more comical as opposed to an attempt at, sci-fi realism. What do you think of this game, guys?
It looks cool, but I haven't liked the past Mario and Luigi games.
Okay.
So I'm confused by this. Is it an RPG? Is it a platformer? Is it a mix of both of them?
It's a platformer RPG.
Specifically, they're role-playing games.
Okay.
There's some platforming elements in them because it's a Mario game, so they always do that. But for the most part, the Mario and Luigi series, as it has appeared, so ever since Nintendo 64, the Mario and Luigi games are role-playing games.
Okay.
Up to and including turn-based combat.
So, Jake, what do you think?
Kind of sounds like amazing.
You like this game. All right. Next game is available for pre-purchase now. It's going to be coming out on March 23rd. And let me tell you, from our littlest who's not here on the podcast, she was super excited about it. It is Detective Pikachu. What is Detective Pikachu, Steve?
Detective Pikachu is a localization of a game that was released in Japan that is more or less a adventure game, is the only real way to describe it. Whereas you play a young man who is friends with a bizarre Pikachu that talks like a grown man. So he is one of 2 Pokemon in Pokemon canon that can speak English?
No, one of 3 Pokemon?
One of many Pokemon, because there are legendaries that can speak.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well, but in the shows?
Yeah?
Really?
Okay, so he's one of 3 non-legendary Pokemon that can speak?
Yes. In one of the other movies,
In one of the other movies, what, hon?
in one of the other movies,
Who?
Pikachu can talk in another movie.
Okay.
Really?
So who are the 3 non-legendary Pokemon that can talk?
Detective Pikachu, a Pikachu in a movie that I haven't
Ash's
seen.
Pikachu from Pokemon I Choose You
And Meow.
movie.
And Meow.
Okay, but we don't know. We haven't seen that movie.
Right.
Yeah.
So we don't know if that's actually him or if that's because I'm hearing. I haven't seen that movie. I'm hearing it's conflicting reports. I thought that it was him, but it could have been like a dream sequence or something.
So we don't know. Anyways, Detective
But
Pikachu.
Meowth and Detective Pikachu are the only confirmed that can speak that are non-legendary.
Yeah.
So the difference is he also doesn't sound like Pikachu would sound.
No.
He speaks like
A grumpy old man.
A grumpy old man. He sounds like a 1920s like Gumshoe.
Gumshoe?
It's a
Gumshoe
detective.
is the name of a detective. It's another word
It's
for
a
detective.
it's just a
It's an
different
old-timey
genre.
word. So
Gumshoes is the name of a Pokemon that looks like Trump.
Okay. Anyways, moving on. This comes with its own available amiibo.
that is huge.
That's giant. It's like a 5.5-inch amiibo or something
I
like
want
that.
that amiibo.
Yes, we're gonna get the Detective Pikachu amiibo.
So I don't know
So what do you want to say about it?
So Pikachu in this game doesn't sound like normal Pikachu, which sounds like this. Pikachu!
Yeah. Okay.
Pika!
Okay, so that's what Pikachu normally sounds like.
Yes.
This time he sounds like a grown man. And apparently someone is making Pokemon that are normally peaceful go berserk, and Detective Pikachu is on the case trying to fix it. The trailer is adorable. It's coming out March 23rd. We'll see what it is. It's already been out in Japan, and people seem to like it. And Nintendo believed in it enough to not only localize the game,
But the movie.
but they're making a movie with Ryan Reynolds as
know.
the voice.
I just can't.
Which I'm surprised because if they're going to make a movie with a voice actor, I want to know why it's not Danny DeVito.
Wait,
I don't know.
What?
I have, so it was already going to be a movie,
Right.
but it was an unreleased movie. They made trailers for it, but they didn't release it.
Right.
Correct.
But now it's coming out. All right. The next game on the 3DS is a port from a GameCube game that was one of my favorites. And this is an HD remake?
No, it's not an HD.
It's not an HD remake. It's just a...
The trailer's in HD.
Okay.
But no, the game itself is not HD because the 3DS is not an HD system.
Right.
But
It's Luigi's Mansion, guys. Real, honest to goodness, old Luigi's Mansion. I'm so excited.
yeah, this was like, to quote Tim Geddes from Kind of Funny, this was Jenna's like Gatorade get hype moment.
What's it Gatorade game?
It's when like the last announcement that they made when you and I lost our minds. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So this was the one I was happiest about seeing. I played Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube. That's one of the games I actually played and enjoyed and finished.
Oh, you finished it?
We had a good time as adults making fun of it. I won't say why because it's not appropriate for children, but it is a very funny game. It's a good game. It's meant to be spooky, but it's not spooky. It's like the Haunted Mansion in Disney World. I mean, it's kind of silly, but it's fun, and I really enjoyed it. And I'm very excited that this is coming out on the 3DS. I know there's Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. I know that's the one that these guys are familiar with.
Yep.
But this is one that I'm familiar with. So, Jacob, having played Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, did you enjoy that game?
Yes.
Are you excited to have
the original Luigi's Mansion? No. How about you, Evan? Are you excited to have this game?
Yes, because I've actually played it before.
You played the Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube?
No, we brought it up so I could play it on the Wii, and I loved it when I played it on the Wii.
So you're excited to try it on the 3DS?
Definitely.
Excellent.
I don't like Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon.
You don't like Dark Moon. How come?
It's just overcomplicated.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that this would be that is a good point. There are a lot of people there's a lot of kids that may have struggled with some of the complexities because sequels sometimes have feature creep. That's where they just add extra stuff, and there will be this kind of goes back to the original. And strips some of that extra stuff. I hope they add some quality of life improvements. I'm sure they will, just to make the game a little bit better. The fact that there is a map will be certainly useful. There's going to be a map on the bottom screen.
To help you get through the mansion. Yes, and in the original Luigi's Mansion, one of the things was you couldn't tell which door and which room you kind of already been in, and they all looked the same on purpose. So it made it a bit challenging to figure out where you'd been. So sometimes you'd go into a room that you would already... be in, kind of, and have to replay it, and it was hard. So having a map might make that a little bit easier.
So that by itself is a quality of life improvement that I think will be welcome. And I think there's a whole generation of kids that might have bounced off the first one, that might be down with trying something new, that is a little bit simpler. It might be the warm-up that they might need. Now, for sake of information... this game is coming out this year.
Yep.
And the game that they announced that is coming out in 2019 is the remake of Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. I didn't get a chance to say my opinion about it. I am hype.
You are hype.
I love the Mario and Luigi role-playing games. Inside Story is one of the ones that I missed. And so I'm absolutely going to give it a shot, especially since it has like a side game. I'm definitely going to play that.
Excellent.
So, that's it that's almost it for the 3DS announcements. We'll come back to it. So on to the Nintendo Switch. First, they came up and gave us some clarification about some of the features that are being added to Kirby Star Allies, which is coming out on March 16th. So by the time you're listening to this, it's coming out in just a couple of days. We are very excited about it. There is a demo up on the eShop right now for anyone that is interested in trying it or just basically playing a free game for a couple of minutes. The biggest update is that King Dedede, Meta Knight, and Bandana Waddle Dee will be friends on the journey. Now, the key with Kirby Star Allies is this is up to a 4-player game.
Like
Kirby
the Wii one, right?
Huh?
Like the one on the Wii.
It's different because this is up to 4-player co-op, but you can control up to 4 characters even if you're playing alone. The idea is instead of necessarily only stealing people's powers, you are also using friend powers to try and basically make friends, and that gives you that kind of is how you progress. King Dedede and Meta Knight and Bandana Waddle Dee, these are enemies from previous games. And you can make them friends. They are called Dream Friends on the journey. And that is interesting and new. King Dedede is a big guy. He's heavy. He's a penguin with a giant hammer. Meta Knight is basically like an evil Kirby with bat wings and a sword and armor. I'm not even joking. Just look him up.
I like Meta Knight.
And Bandana Waddle Dee is basically
a Waddle Dee with a banana.
I mean, it's a Waddle Dee with a bandana, but he looks like a brown lima bean with feet, and he wears a bandana and fights with a spear. Yes, everything I said is true. There's a penguin with a hammer. a bat-winged dark Kirby plate mail, and a bean with a spear. Those are all real things, and no, I'm not doing drugs. So one of the things they also confirmed is that friends from previous games, such as Rick, Klein, and Koo, which are from Kirby's Dream Land on the Game Boy, Marks, who is from Kirby Superstar on the SNES, and Gooey, who is, I believe, from Kirby's Dream Land 3 on the SNES. They're coming as post-launch as part of a free update on March 28th. This opens up. They did say that there will be additional Dream Friends.
That could just keep coming in.
So
right?
they could continue to support this game real fast. Evan, who do you want to be a Dream Friend in Kirby Star Allies? You have 5 seconds. Give me one name.
Amiibo support with Link and Mario. Amiibo support.
Fair enough. So he wants Mario and Link. Jake, what do you want?
I want Amaterasu.
Okay.
In a Kirby game.
Yes.
Amaterasu, fine. I'd play that.
Okay.
I'd play that. I want Mega Man.
Of course you do.
Why not? I'm allowed to want Mega Man.
Right.
Who do you
Wait,
want?
no. Can I change my answer?
Yes.
I'm changing it to Samus.
Okay, he wants Samus. I want Mega Man. Who do you want?
I don't know.
Pikachu?
Samus.
Sure.
She
what-
definitely doesn't want Samus. I really
You
can't
picked
wait.
Samus just to troll your mommy.
Yes.
High five, Jake.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You are so
All right,
welcome.
the next game.
Okay, the next
you
one.
were super excited about.
This was the first time during. All right, so
You mean I was super excited about?
okay, you and I were both hype about this. This was one of 3 times that I stood up from the couch while we were watching this. Right? I think
Right.
this was the first time. Okami HD for the Nintendo Switch. Gatorade get hype moment, whatever. I'm stealing it from them. That's their bit, but it's fine. They'll forgive me. Go to Kinda Funny's Patreon and like them if you want.
It's super pretty.
Probably the prettiest game I've ever played. Okami is a game that is hand drawn. It looks like it was painted. It's like an ancient Japanese painting. You play the sun god Amaterasu, personified as a wolf, and you run around solving spirit problems. This is a very big. This is a Zelda-like game. It was originally released on the PS2. And on the Wii. It was eventually up-resed and made into an HD version that was released on the PlayStation 3. And then last year it was put on the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and PC. I did not buy it in any of the upgraded time. I didn't buy it on either the PS3 or on the Xbox One, PS4, and PC. I was planning on buying it for the PS4 at some point this year. Not anymore, buddy. Now I'm going to get it for the Switch.
Right, because it's portable and you can take it with you.
Because I can take it anywhere.
And it's coming out this summer.
It's coming out this summer. Yeah, no exact release date. But man, Capcom is on a roll. They got Monster Hunter World as the best-selling Capcom game of all time. And now they're releasing Okami HD on the Switch. This game is going to sell like crazy. Don't sleep on this, especially if your family is either done with Zelda or maybe stuck with Zelda and wanting to try another Zelda-like game. This is a game you got to try. So that is Okami HD. Next, I'm just going to say this one out loud. The game is called Sushi Striker Way of the Sushido. It's a puzzle game about sushi, specifically conveyor belt sushi. You play as this game is just anime as all get out. I mean, Jenna, what did you think?
It's kind of like one of those match 4 kind of puzzle games that I've seen before. It's really weird. I don't understand whether it's it seems to have like a little story to go along with the game. It's not just a puzzle game.
Yeah.
Our kids are excited about it, right, boys?
Yes.
I'm interested to play the demo. I have a feeling this game is most likely... This game, out of all the ones in this Direct, is the most likely to make me hungry.
Wait.
Hungry.
Wait.
I'm going to learn how to play with chopsticks.
One thing.
Sushi.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
you guys like sushi.
We do
get
like
it.
sushi. So we don't really know. The way that it works is there's a series of platform of conveyor belts full of sushi between you and your opponent, and the idea is you are trying to select sushi and move from conveyor to conveyor in an effort to make like chain combos. And by doing so, you make the conveyor belts closer to your opponent, move faster, etc. This is a puzzle type game. There's online multiplayer. There's apparently an anime-based story mode. I don't know, man. We're going to have to watch it. There is a demo coming soon. Next, they went into a deep dive on what is going to be one of the biggest Nintendo releases this year, and that is Mario Tennis Aces. This was the second time I stood up, because man was I excited. They showed off 15 characters. They showed off a lot of the fairly, there's a technical side to this, but also they have a simple mode that strips out some of like the special shots, and also there's motion controls,
which
so
I
everyone
will not be using.
Yeah, there's motion controls that everyone except Evan can use.
Right, and why can't you use them, Evan?
Because
I
you get
split my finger open on the entertainment center playing tennis with Wii Sports.
Because you were too close to the television.
And we told you to move back. We actually told this story on one of our podcasts. You were playing.
You did?
Yes, you were playing Wii Sports
podcast?
tennis. I don't know. And you split your finger open. You're the only person I know who has a injury from Wii Sports. I know people who have ruined their televisions and their living room from Wii Sports. You are the first person who I know who had to get stitches from Wii Sports.
True.
So no, you won't be doing motion control with
Motion control
Mario
over.
Aces. Mario Tennis Aces.
So, to go over the 15 characters that were announced.
The ones that we know that are confirmed. I don't know if it's 15.
Chin Chomp.
Yeah, they announced 15.
Okay.
Chin Chomp.
So, whoa. That's one, obviously. So, Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, Daisy, Boo, that's the ghost, Bowser, Bowser Jr., Donkey Kong, the Chain Chomp, Yoshi, Rosalina, she's
The princess from Mario Galaxy.
The princess from Mario Galaxy.
The one with the blue dress.
Toadette, who Meggie has determined is so cute.
Right.
And Toad. Those
We also
also Wario
and Waluigi.
and Waluigi.
And then there's a hidden character.
And there's definitely a hidden character that they've already shown us the shape of. And they said hidden characters, but the one that they gave us the silhouette for was Koopa Troopa, which is fine. Guys, I'm going to be real. I'm going to crush all of you in this game.
Since when, Dad?
Because I am amazing at Mario Tennis, am I not?
He's good at it, but, I'm pretty darn good at it, too. We
Good.
played together, and
I'm
we had
good at
some
Wii
really good
Sports.
challenges.
Wait. Dad's good. Mom's darn good.
Ha!
Oh.
Ha! Ha!
Now
Hey,
you're just-
Jake. I love you, Jake.
You're just saying words.
No.
I'm
I'm
gonna.
not saying
All right, then we're gonna have a tournament.
And this is
Oh,
cool.
yes,
I have to say, I'm a little nervous about all the special shots
Oh,
and the zone
that's fine.
shots.
That's fine,
and...
sweetheart. We can put it in simple mode if it'll make it easier.
Aw, thanks.
Dad.
No. They made it so your racket can break.
Yeah.
They took the worst part about Breath of the Wild and put it into Mario.
I disagree that it's the worst part. Who do you think you are, Anthony John Agnello? No, that's not the worst part. It's fine. Did you just dab at that? You don't even know who he is.
He just dabbed.
People who
because he
listen to this
wants
podcast know who he is. He and I got into a big argument about it. So, it's going to be fine. We'll play it in simple mode, but we're going to have a tournament. You know what we're going to do? We're going to have to put that up on YouTube because people need to know who is winning, and it's me.
Definitely
Yeah, okay.
So-
No, it's Mom. It's
All right.
Mom. There's
So,
no
yes.
way it's not going to be Mom.
So, wait a minute. The release date on this
Is June 22nd.
is June 22nd.
Which is perfect, because it's just in time for the end of school. This is going to be a nice, especially if you use the motion controls. It's an active game.
Yeah, but guess what's also coming out in June around
What?
that time? Nintendo Labo,
Nintendo Labo will be out April 20th.
April 20th. So maybe there'll be like a tennis racket you can build and put your Wiimote in the tennis racket.
You mean Joy-Con?
Joy-Con. You're right. I mean Joy-Con. Thanks for correcting me. I love having my kids on the show to correct me. That
It's
was
fine.
not
If
just
he
you.
did- if
It's
he did-
coming from them.
If he didn't, I would have.
Welcome.
So, all right. So, there will be a pre-launch tournament. That's going to be a great demo. I mean, it's being called a tournament, whatever. But it is essentially a free demo for the game in the form of a tournament, and I am fine with that. So we will likely be doing some video capture, maybe even some streaming of that as it gets closer. So that's Mario Tennis Aces. This game looks absolutely. It also, let's be honest, it looks very pretty. I think
definitely looks good.
Right? I mean, for what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good for the graphics are so much more upgraded from what I remember, even from, was it the Wii the last time we had a Mario Tennis game?
The last Mario Tennis game we owned was on the GameCube because we skipped Mario Tennis Wii because...
And we skipped the 3DS one.
Did we skip Mario Tennis Wii?
Yes.
Because we had Wii Sports Tennis.
Because we had Wii Sports.
Right, okay.
And also because we weren't buying every Nintendo game because we had to review them for work.
Right.
Next... They're bringing Captain Toad Treasure Tracker to the Switch.
Captain Toad!
Guess he's excited.
All right, so Captain Toad is a puzzle game that is coming, that was on the Wii U and is now being relaunched on the Switch, and I think it's perfect.
And 3DS.
Apparently they added some Super Mario Odyssey levels to this game. There's New Donk City.
Yeah, and there's also, there's a lot of new features they're adding, some quality of life stuff. They're also adding new levels and local co-op.
Wait. One of the new levels is Super Mario Odyssey level.
Yeah.
Who said that?
Specifically, New Donk City. So that's going to be cool. It's coming July 13th. I don't know that we're going to get this game. As much as Evan freaked out. I mean, we do own it already. We're going to have to wait and see how much they add and how valuable the local co-op is. Because that might be kind of neat. Maybe playing through that. But at the same time, playing this in handheld sounds pretty awesome.
And this is the other one that we held off on with the 3DS that you were saying that there's a 3DS version of this coming out.
That is true. There is a 3DS version of the game. I don't know when it is coming. But there is a 3DS version of the game coming.
I mean, this game is supposed to come out July 13th. I don't know if that's when the 3DS version's coming.
Yeah, we don't know yet. But we know that is coming. And I think this is perfect for a handheld system. So, all right. Okay, so that was Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Next, I want to talk about Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. We've already had that. It was announced for Nintendo. And it's super interesting because Crash used to be the Sony mascot. In fact, one of his commercials had him literally show up at Nintendo headquarters with a megaphone calling them out.
Right.
Calling them up for what?
Just calling them out as a challenge because he was the better platforming game. He had better graphics or whatever. So that's Crash Bandicoot. I mean, we already have this game. I really didn't think it was all that awesome. Fight me.
I was surprised. I thought that the kids would enjoy it more. And they were pretty disinterested. You didn't like it, huh?
Well, I like watching YouTubers scream while playing that extra hard level.
Yeah.
Okay, but you don't like to play it yourself.
No, I just don't like... I don't really like platformers.
But you've played plenty of platformers that you like. You like
It's
Guacamelee, you like...
Yeah, but it's like, I don't like platformers. It's hard to explain, but like... It just depends on the platform, like...
Just not your game.
Yeah, it's just not my game. Like, the way it's set up, like, the 3D platformer, but it's also not a 3D platformer, is kind of confusing.
Okay.
He's not wrong. Most of the levels have you running either towards the front of the screen or away from it directly, as opposed to scrolling like 3D freely.
Okay.
It's also absurdly hard, and figuring out where you're supposed to jump and all that. It's
like an endless runner, but not an endless runner.
Kinda. How about this? I'm just
It's
gonna go ahead and say it. It's not that great.
Okay.
So those of you who remember it fondly, I'm sorry, but it's not a very good game. Fight me. So.
I'm sure you'll have people making their fair share of comments.
Fair enough. So now we get to the last two announcements. These are a big deal.
No, there's one that's not on your list.
Oh, Evan was very excited.
Evan was excited.
What about Undertale? Tell us about Undertale.
What is Undertale?
Okay, so I don't know much about the plot, so if you know a lot about Undertale, don't get mad at me for not knowing much.
Okay, but...
So Undertale is a game where you play as a human, and you fall down into a pit into essentially the underworld.
Okay.
It's full of monsters, and
Is it scary?
not from what I have played.
Is it like gory graphics? Is it pixel
No.
graphics? What's it
It's
like?
pixel graphics, but apparently it gets a little bit dark.
Okay.
Wait.
And also, it's a very story-driven game.
Okay.
So, like, I have friends at school who really like Undertale.
Okay.
So it's hard for me to talk to it about them without getting spoilers.
What do they play it on?
It is on PC and PS4.
Okay. So and it's coming to the Switch.
Yeah.
We saw a trailer, but they didn't
Come
get...
to the Switch eventually.
Eventually. As you say, there was no release date given. It said eventually. Yes, Jacob.
Same with hard mode.
Koi, I'm Penny.
Okay. But you're skeletons, right?
No, you're a human. There are skeletons.
Ah, okay.
Those two skeletons in the trailer were Papyrus and Sans. They are named after the fonts
Right.
that their text speak in.
Ah.
Like Sans is his. Didn't you see the font was Comic Sans that his text was in?
And the other one was Papyrus. Haha, that's cute. Okay.
All of the skeletons
So
are named after their font.
the Undertale world is very meme-ish. I haven't played it. I need to. I know that I do. So that is so that's Undertale. They made a whole bunch of grown-up announcements. There's a South Park game coming, whatever, you know. Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition got its final release date. It's coming out on May 18th. If you liked Hyrule Warriors, this is Hyrule Warriors on a mobile platform that actually works, because it didn't really work on the 3DS. Not really. It chugged, because the 3DS is not ready for that many dudes on the screen at once. So that's May 18th. I don't think we're going to grab it. With the first one, really didn't do it for us.
Yeah.
But there are some... if you're looking for more games to play, or if you never played the first one, you like Muso games, which are a style of games where basically you play an indestructible warrior and you just run around fighting like 100 dudes at once.
Well, you are destructible.
Yeah, but you're fighting like 100 dudes at once. You may as well be indestructible. So that is...
Hyrule
Warriors Definitive Edition. I don't know why I just froze. Maybe because you have a list of all the things I'm supposed to look at and you keep looking ahead and freaking me out. So
That's
finally...
the third one?
Huh?
This is the third time they've released that game, right?
Yeah, they're going to keep releasing these games. Let's get used to this. This is the theme of this, is that there are games
that they are turning all of their franchises into Musos.
No. The theme here... The theory here is that they are taking a lot of the Wii U games that were previously trapped and bringing them forward. For example, they already did this with Splatoon and giving us Splatoon 2. It is not a direct port, but really the sequel was more of the same. I was very happy with that. Some people had concerns. They did, however, announce an expansion. It's called the Octo expansion. It appears to have a significant single-player campaign where you play as an Octoling trapped in kind of a subway experiment type situation. But also it's going to include some significant updates. They are, in fact, the expansion is separate. That's just some extra pieces. That's paid DLC. In late April, Splatoon 3.0 is coming, which is going to include 100 new pieces of gear, 3 new stages, a new rank for ranked mode called Rank X. In the Octo expansion, you play as Agent 8, because Octo is Latin for 8. It's coming out in 2018.
And what does Agent 8 look like, guys?
It's an Octoling.
It's an Octoling.
Wait.
And if you complete the DLC, you'll actually finally be able to play as an Octoling in multiplayer without crashing everyone's game. Because
Playing as an Octoling in multiplayer without corrupting other people's saves surprising, which is not how much money you can save by spending the Geico, so you can buy that DLC.
Oh, he's just as bad as you.
That was pretty good, though.
Just as bad as you.
Guys, tweet at me if you think that was good. I think that was good. High five.
Oh, boy.
Intercepted. Ready?
All right. Next.
Ready? Okay. So, and finally. So, that was the end. For a minute.
And then...
Okay. So, at that point, they were about ready to close the show. And they said that they had one more announcement. So, at that point, it could have been anything. It was, it could have been anything. It could have been Pokemon. It could have been Metroid. It could have been whatever. But they showed us a neat little video of the two Inklings fighting each other. And then they showed it, and it was Super Smash Brothers. So we all got really excited. There are montage videos of streamers who were doing live reaction videos when the trailer popped up, because it was definitely a surprise. Just getting really crazy hyped. If you want to look at that, you can go.
Wait, can I say something?
Yeah, of course you can.
Okay, so at the beginning of the trailer, since they just had a long talk about Splatoon, and then they had the Inklings fighting on a white background, I kind of knew it was Smash, but I also didn't know it was Smash. But then they showed the Smash symbol,
Yep.
and I got up and screamed Smash at the top of my lungs for about 10 minutes.
Maybe not 10 minutes, but for a while. And we all did. We danced around the room. We bounced up and down. Now, the next question...
Wait.
Okay.
That was the third time Dad got out of his seat and jumped.
Yep, that was the third time. So, the question now is, and everybody's got to have an opinion, whether or not it is going to be a port of Super Smash Brothers for the Wii U, or if it's going to be a brand new game. I think it's probably going to be a brand new game, just based on some of the clues. But even if they just port over Smash Brothers for the Wii U and call it like Smash Deluxe or something, I'm still down.
I think that is going to be a new game, but they're going to include the DLC characters from Smash, because there were a lot of people a couple of my friends who played Smash, they played it, but they never got any of the DLC, and when I'm talking about me playing as Cloud, I always forget that they don't have the DLC, and they kind of stop talking for a little bit.
Yep. Okay.
So I'm hoping that they bring in DLC characters.
Okay. I agree with you. So I agree with you. I'd like to see that too, but I don't know. The only thing we absolutely know is that Link is in his Breath of the Wild costume, because that's what we saw in the trailer, and we know that the two Inklings are in it.
And there's Mario.
And we know there's Mario. Big surprise.
But didn't they show the silhouette of the whole cast?
They did, and I'm sure that there are videos with people tearing them apart. That's not something that we necessarily do. There are people
I saw Bowser.
Yeah, I'm sure Bowser's in it. He's always been in Smash. We can count on a lot of the core characters being there. What do you think, Jake?
Smash plus Splatoon equals explosions.
Yes.
I don't get it.
So, all right, you're just trying to be clever at this point, but you're right. There will definitely be some explosions. So this is this was the direct. We just went through all the announcements. There were some grown-up stuff. There's a Dark Souls amiibo somehow.
Amiibo support.
Yeah, there's amiibo support for that. There's some other good stuff. And if you're interested in that, I'm sure there are other places that will get you covered. But these were all of the family-friendly announcements from the Nintendo Direct on March 8th of 2018. So, guys, what was your favorite part of the Direct?
Smash.
Yeah, so Smash.
Splatoon 2 coming to the Switch.
That was
Splatoon
a
2
while
is already
ago.
on the Switch.
I know.
He's talking about the Splatoon stuff.
You like the Splatoon DLC?
No, my favorite part was.
Okay.
I liked all of it.
You liked all of it. Okay. So, I'm with you. I thought it was pretty good too. So you liked Smash. Smash is definitely my favorite part. Although guys, I'm not gonna sleep on Mario Tennis Aces.
Smash.
Okay, I get it. You're really excited about Smash.
Tennis and Luigi Mansion.
Alright, so the boys told us their favorite part. The part that I am the most excited about is Mario Aces Tennis, or Mario Tennis Aces, and Luigi's Mansion for the 3DS. Those are my two that I'm most hyped about. Because I'm not a huge fan of Smash, believe it or not.
Well, she hates Smash. I'm
just really bad at it, and every single time you guys play Smash, you get super hyper.
Well, that's because it's called Smash. We're supposed to smash each other.
Right. So, anyways, I just have a difference of opinion on my two favorite things. And there's, like I said, there's other games that Steve mentioned that are more for grown-ups, and one of those looks really amazing to me, and I'm sure I'll play it and talk about it a little bit, but it's not for kids. So, those are my things.
Yeah. So those are the announcements. This past week was obviously very big. We'll talk about some of the other announcements that came out in future episodes, because there's at least one that I think is going to be worthy of discussion. Specifically, a big announcement about Fortnite, which is a game we haven't really talked about a huge amount outside of the fact that you don't like it. But I still think it's going to be a big enough deal that we're going to have to start talking about it a little bit more often. But because they made an announcement, we'll talk about it later. So that has been our evaluation of the Nintendo Direct from March 8th, 2018. Until next time, we do hope you've enjoyed listening to our podcast as much as we enjoyed recording it. Obviously, this was a bit of an experiment. I like to think that it went pretty well. However, I'm sure you'll have your opinions, so please reach out to us via social media or email and let us know what suggestions you might have for doing the podcast. Maybe tell us if you liked the joke at the beginning. And make sure that you both subscribe, review us, and share the podcast with your friends. We'd like to grow our audience, because a bigger audience means we can do more cool stuff. And until next time, everybody, this has been Steven.
And Jenna.
And Jacob.
And Evan.
And don't you forget to get your
family
game on!